Hey everybody, Dr. Schlater here. We are in Unit 6, Lesson 10, and we are still talking about the distributive property. We introduced this in Lesson 9, and it had a lot to do with areas, so we are getting some practice again with talking about areas. So for our beginning problem, a rectangle has a width of 4 units and a length of m units. Write an expression for the area of this rectangle. And just if it helps, if you already can see this, great. But I would like to draw a rectangle that has these properties. So let's say that I've got right here, that's my width of 4, and this is my length of m. Write an expression. Now remember, we've started to talk a lot about expressions. Expressions often involve what we have here, a variable and a number and an operation. And the way that we talk about this is we say that that area is 4m. And just a reminder, every time we've got that number right next to the variable, that means 4 times m. We talk about 4 as being the coefficient. All right, so I don't know what m is. It's a variable. What is the area of the rectangle if m is equal to, well, what about all these things? Okay, well, 4 units. So that means m would be, 3 units. M would be 3. So I would have 4 times 3. That would be 12 square units. You know what? Let's do that, and let's put a little 2 on there to remind you that we're talking about square units. Okay, what about 2.2 units? So I would need 4 times 2.2, and that is 8. And I'll write it out this time, square units. Okay, and finally over here, we've got a fraction. Let's use our equation tools. This is going to be 4 times 1/5. And if you just need a reminder, you can write that as 4 over 1 times 1 over 5. That is 4/5. Out of the way so you can see that right there. So that's what we get. And of course, that's in square units. So all we're doing right now is we're saying, hey, if the width is 4 and the length is one of these numbers, we know what's going on. Could the area of this triangle be 11 square units? Why or why not? Let's write that as an equation. So we could write that as 4m equals 11. We have already talked about solving equations like this. What we want to do is we want to divide both sides by 4. Do that. We get m equals, and remember, we can just write things like this, 11/4, 11 on the top, 4 on the bottom. So could the area be 11/4? Could the area of the rectangle be 11 square units? Yes, if m equals 11/4. It's a big yes right there.